When it comes to geography, India has vast climates, landforms, and terrains that help make its lands unique. India is located in southern Asia, bordering the Arabian Sea and the Bay of Bengal. Bangladesh, Bhutan, Burma, China, Nepal, and Pakistan are all surrounding countries of India. The coordinates of this country are 20 north, 77 east. India's total area is 3,287,263 square kilometers, 2,973,193 square kilometers being land, and 3,100 square kilometers being water. It is the seventh largest country in the world, right behind Australia. Obviously, India is a very large country, so it is home to a large variety of climates. The climate ranges from tropical monsoon in the southern region to more temperate in the northern region. This is strongly influenced by the Thar Desert and the Himalayan mountains, which range both located in India. According to the Köppen system, India contains 6 major climate subtypes, including desert in the west, the alpine tundra, and glaciers in the north, the humid tropical region supporting rainforests in the southwest and the island territories. The Himalayas help block some of the frigid wind coming from Central Asia, so India stays relatively warm or mildly cold even during the wintertime. The same concept applies to the summertime, only India gets very hot because of the barrier. Although the Tropic of Cancer runs straight through India, it is still considered tropical as a whole. Because of these vast climates, India experiences multiple natural hazards such as droughts, flash floods, destructive flooding from monsoonal rains, severe thunderstorms, earthquakes, and cyclones. Along with its vast climates, India is also home to the multiple different terrains ranging from upland plain in the south, flat to rolling plain along the Ganges, deserts in the west, and Himalayan mountains in the north. India is also home to the Indus and Ganges rivers, which helped shape the country and establish civilizations long ago. The average elevation in India is 160 meters. The lowest point is Kutanad, which is negative 2.2 meters. All in all, India has a very diverse range of geographical factors which have helped establish it to be one of the most religiously and ethnically diverse regions on Earth. With a rapidly growing population, India has the potential to experience many more issues if their growth rate does not change. The effort to keep up with such large populations is definitely taking a toll on forests. As people compete for natural resources, India is facing deforestation and soil depletion as a result of agricultural expansion. This is a serious issue for people that rely on India's once full forests. Another serious environmental issue is drought and shortage of water. As water tables drop, clean water sources or any other water sources at all become harder to have access to. Water is absolutely essential for human life, and it is also important in the success of livestock raising and the growth of crops. Pollution only exacerbates the water shortages. A report from India's Central Pollution Control Board states that 2,723 million liters per day of domestic sewage is discharged by cities located along the Ganga River. The river is the host to sewage and animal bodies alike, and conditions are shocking. Without sewage treatment, plants, or in many cases, drainage networks, rivers are bearing the consequences. The Ganga River isn't the only case where this is happening. Belander Lake is covered in a white snow-like foam and is black underneath, thanks to rampant pollution. Its appearance is the least of the issue, and the water has a tendency to catch fire, and citizens in the area report allergic reactions to the chemical pollutants. As of today, India is ranked as the second largest population in the world with over 1.2 billion people. It is predicted to pass China by 2030 with a population growth rate of 1.19%. India's rapid growth rate can be seen in its age structure. Over half of the population are people of reproductive age, meaning that the population will grow at a rapid rate. India also has a much higher birth rate than death rate. However, India's infant mortality rate is about 40% per 1,000, so this slightly slows the population growth from what it could be if the rate was much lower. Although the population is huge, the literacy rates are not very good. Roughly 70% of the population is illiterate, and that is comprised of only 60.6% female and 81.3% male. Obviously, there is a massive gap in the literacy between men and women, which is a result of inequality between the two genders. As India is known for its species, it is also known for its many languages. Hindi is the most widely spoken language and primary tongue of 41% of the people. There are also 14 other official languages. The government of India is a union government which governs India's 29 states and 7 union territories. The seat of the government is the Indian capital, New Delhi. The U.S. did not recognize India as an independent state until August 14th of 1947. India in turn constructed a constitution which came into effect January 26th during the year of 1950, thus giving them the power to create the governing system stated above. Much like our U.S. government, the Indian government is comprised of 3 branches: the executive, the legislative, and the judiciary. The president then puts his or her power into effect by dictating through officers directly under him or her. The Indian president is elected by an electoral college consisting of elected members of both houses of parliament and the legislatures of the state. Executive elections are held every 5 years. The current president has held the presidential title since July 25, 2012. India's government remains democratically elected. India is an independent nation that strives to implement social and economic equality for all of its citizens. The state does not identify with any one specific religion, thus giving its people freedom to practice a religion of his or her choice. Although India does promote religious freedom, according to the 2011 census, 79.8% of the population of India practices Hinduism. 14.2% adheres to Islam, while the remaining 6% adheres to other religions. Christianity is the 3rd largest religion in India. India's economy snags the 7th largest place in the world when measuring the gross domestic product, sitting right at $2.25 trillion. When measuring PPP, India is ranked 3rd at $8.72 trillion. Over the last 2 decades, India's economy has been sustaining an average growth rate of approximately 7%. India has rapidly become a great force in the world trade, but its growth continues to remain below its capability. India is stocked with various natural resources, making it considerably wealthy. These resources include large coal, iron, and petroleum reserves. Oil and gas alone accounted for 40% of all resource production in 2009 through 2010. Oil has replaced coal as the nation's most valuable commodity, yet India's strong economic growth and expanding population make it a prime oil importer. Petroleum products made up of almost half of the country's imports. Millennium Development Goals of India. Goal 1. Eradicate extreme hunger and poverty. India has been moderately successful in improving poverty. However, over 270 million still live in extreme poverty. Hunger is a much more difficult task that has not been as successful. About 40% of people are still malnourished. Goal 2. Achieve universal primary education. There has been significant progress on improving education. However, India is still only moderately on track with its MDG. There is an 86.1% literacy rate of ages 15 through 24. Goal 3. Promote gender equality and empower women. India is on track in improving gender equality. However, women's literacy rates are still lagging behind men's. Only about 12% of the national parliament seats are held by women. Goal 4. Reduce child mortality. India is moderately on track to reducing child mortality. However, malnutrition of mothers and children is still a major issue that largely affects this. Goal 5. Improve maternal health. India's progress on this goal has been very slow, as the maternal mortality rate is 167 per 100,000 live births. Goal 6. Combat HIV, AIDS, malaria, and other diseases. India is steadily on track for this goal. HIV and AIDS have especially decreased due to awareness and encouraged use of contraceptives and protection. Goal 7. Ensure environmental sustainability. India is moderately on track for this goal. However, because of their extremely large and growing population, progress is slow going. On a positive note, water sources have been greatly improved. Goal 8. Develop a global partnership for development. India has made tremendous progress on this goal. 76 out of every 100 people have a telephone, and roughly 20 out of every 100 people have access to the internet.